com. And if you've ever wanted to learn how to play the harmonica, you've got an opportunity at the Union County Heritage Museum. And Jill Smith, the director there at the museum, is joining us today to tell us a little bit more. Hey, Jill.
Hello, Rebecca.
It's a good day, and it's a fun time to learn something new. But before we jump into the harmonica workshop, give us a little background about the museum. I think it's one that maybe some folks don't even know is there in or is there?
Well, if they don't know, well, I hope they're listening because we have a lot to see and do here. We've got about 2.5 city blocks, and a lot of people don't know that New Albany is the birthplace of William Faulkner. So we have the William Faulkner Library here, and we also have an Airbnb in his birth site. And we have a park called the Crossing on the Green that's got a railroad viewing deck. You know, some people like to sit and watch the trains go by. So they can do that here.
I was going to say, sounds like a wonderful afternoon or fun time to do. Is it connected to the museum?
It is. We have the park and the art house where we do, we have a pottery studio, and we do all different kinds of art lessons for adults and children. And then on the next block is the museum, and we have a Faulkner Literary Garden. You know, you've heard of Shakespeare Gardens. Well, we've got a Faulkner Garden.
That's pretty cool for folks to come out and enjoy. So how did the harmonica piece come to play?
Well, it goes back to, let's see, Elder Rummel Wilson is a harmonica player that's on the Blues Trail, and he's from Union County. And so we have a focus on the blues. We have 2 blues markers here, and he's one of our people. So to carry that legacy on, we decided we would do some classes related to that. And so Adam Gussow, he's a fabulous blues harmonica player from Oxford. He's one of the blues doctors, if you've ever heard them play. But he's got an online blues harmonica, I guess, a course, and he's offered to come and do a introduction to blues harmonica here. And that'll be Thursday, July the 20th. And if you've got your own harmonica in the key of C, it's free. If you want to buy one of our harmonicas, it's $10 to buy the harmonica and take the intro.
Well, that's one of those instruments, Jill, that's definitely harder to make sound good than you would think. And then it's always really cool when you hear someone who knows what they're doing with a harmonica. It's like, I think I can do that. No, you probably can't. You probably won't sound the way someone who's good at it.
Well, maybe not the first time.
No, definitely not the first time. I was looking here, Mr. Wilson, Elder Roma Wilson, passed away at the age of 107. That's a legend there in the area.
He really is. I was lucky enough to get to meet him, Rebecca, when he was, I guess, in his late 80s, and he was still blowing and going then, and he didn't like to for his music to be called blues because it's gospel, and he says that's the good news. But he was living here in New Albany or nearby at the time, and eventually his children came and got him, and he went up, I believe, in the Detroit area. And he would call me from time to time, and we would talk, and he would tell me about he got married after he got up there. Even he found somebody his age. And so he told me one time that the reason he had such a long life is because he played the harmonica, and he had such good lung capacity. So I guess that's another thing we could put on the list of positives from learning how to play the harmonica.
Well, they wouldn't be wrong. I mean, that is, you do need some good lungs, and having strong lungs will keep you alive a little bit longer. I don't know if you can claim that it'll keep you alive to 107, but, but it may keep you around a little bit longer. If nothing else, just to give you a fun hobby. I mean, that's not a large investment either, even if you mentioned, Jill, if you don't have one, for only $10. So happen to know how the workshop will work? I know that may be an odd question, but is it like group style? Is it all day? Kind of how will that go down?
It's going to be an hour and a half. It starts at 5:30 and it goes until 7. And he's going to bring it's a sound box, so you're going to be playing along with, I guess, a a musical score, for lack of a better way to say that. And so, you'll be probably learning rhythm and I guess the way to blow and when to blow and when not to blow. I heard a professional musician tell me one time the best musicians know when not to play. So maybe you learn when to play and when not to play.
There's a lot of wisdom in that, Miss Jill. I think we could take that into life as well. Is this something we'll need to register for if we're interested in?
Yes, we have a limited number of seats in it. So, yeah, we need to know if you want to come, and we'll put your name down. And we've already got several people that have signed up for it. So they can do that by calling us at the museum at 662-538-0014, or they can email us. You can follow us on Facebook, so you can message us through Facebook. That would be Union County Heritage Museum. Go to our website, which is ucheritagemuseum.com. There's several ways to contact us to put your name on that list.
And if we want to just come and maybe we're taking a trip up that way and going through New Albany, or maybe we just realized we'd never stopped in and checked out the Union County Heritage Museum, Ms. Jill, what are your hours of operation, or what's the best way of kind of adding that into our trip to New Albany?
Well, we're open Tuesday through Friday from 9 to 4 and Saturday 10 to 3. And other times by appointment. We have a lot of events here. So just tell them to give us a call or email us or just stop by. They may be coming to New Albany to ride the Tanglefoot Trail. That's here in town. So that's another good thing to do while in New Albany. That's a 44-mile trail that goes from New Albany to Houston, Mississippi. It was the old Ripley Railroad.
Such neat things just nestled all throughout Mississippi. Do you guys have permanent exhibits or anything specific folks can get excited about coming to see at the museum?
Well, yes, we do have a timeline of our county, which is a permanent exhibit, and in about 6 weeks we're going to open up the Sporting Life exhibit, and that's all about the sports history of Union County. And everybody's got a sports story. We've learned that you have your fabulous professional players, but then everybody else has got their time when it was the high point of their lives. So that's going to be a fun and exciting exhibit that will be opening, and it will be permanent. It'll be opening probably around the end of August. We're still waiting on some of the exhibit to be installed. We also have a permanent exhibit of, I call it the Zoo That's Dead. It's a bunch of stuffed exotic animals from the Chico Foot collection. But there was a man who lived here in the 70s and 80s, and he was a big game hunter. And so we have a whole room full of very unusual animals for people to see.
Well, when it's a county museum, Miss Jill, you get all kinds of interesting things because there's all kinds of interesting people. It's not just on one sort of topic or subject. So from animals to music to sports it feels like, heritage really includes a lot of different things.
Well, that's true. And we live by the saying, if we don't tell our stories, who will?
This is very true. Very true. Well, you've made a good case for us to come visit New Albany and check out the museum, but also if we're in town, remind us when the workshop's going to be. It's coming up next week, correct?
It's coming up Thursday, July the 20th, and it's 5:30 to 7 p.m. And the museum is located on 114 Cleveland Street. And if you want to come stay in our Faulkner Airbnb Inn, it's a writer's inn. It's on the corner of Jefferson and Cleveland, adjacent to the museum.
And bring your walking shoes for the trail.
That's right. Bring your walking shoes, bring your bike.
You just created a whole weekend getaway there in New Albany for us, Miss Jill. I appreciate your time. I will. We will. We can. We should. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.